Hey guys, welcome to the Reparenting Daily podcast, your free daily guide for inner child healing and repairing the relationship with yourself. This podcast helps you establish a consistent reparenting routine and is divided into 3 sections. The first is a daily reading, the second is a discussion of that reading, followed by suggested journal prompts, and the last section is a peaceful binaural beats meditation for closing. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening from whenever and wherever you're joining us. I'm so glad that you can join us today on this journey of healing, self-expression, and growth. If this is your first time, welcome. As a celebration of recently passing episode 500, I've opened up a free membership tier for our Patreon community. And this is so that you can access additional resources as well as join our weekly Zoom support calls for free. I understand that there's a lot going on in the world right now, and I know that so many people are really struggling. And so my hope with this is to encourage others to take up the serious work of reparenting and to offer a free community where people can do that. I'd also like to thank everyone who's been along for the journey so far. We've passed episode 550 and continuing beyond. And so this is just a reminder to you all that this is a free podcast, but if you'd like to support the project, you can purchase the Reparenting Daily Journal where you can follow us along all year. This 333-page journal gives you extra insight and resources for each week and also provides space for you to keep your notes. Another way to support the podcast is to purchase the Fairy Tales for Reparenting series, volumes 1 through 3. This collection organizes famous and obscure fairy tales from around the world into 3 phases of the hero's journey, from beginning, middle, to end. While you may think that fairy tales are for kids, I'd like to challenge you. These stories contain profound truths and lessons carried down over centuries that we can use in our own reparenting journeys. It's a fun way to reconnect with your inner child. Each volume comprises 10 fairy tales. Each volume also contains an analysis section that helps you dive deeper into the message, as well as journal prompts with space for you to keep your notes. Lastly, you can also support this podcast by taking a paid Patreon subscription, by purchasing some of the books that are available on Amazon, or by donating on Buy Me a Coffee. You can find all this information on the Support Us section on the website. Thank you again for your time. And so now with these announcements out of the way, let's dive into today's practice. Hey guys, today's reading is also a continuation from the article from yesterday, Understanding Patterns of Behavior, and how the Hoffman process can help. Just as a reminder, we're in January, and the theme is self-awareness and self-reflection. We're in week 4, and the theme for this last week in January is recognizing patterns of behavior. As always, I'm skipping around this article, but you can find the link in the show notes to check it out in its entirety. It's quite a long article. This section is called The Origins of Behavior Patterns. The first is early childhood influences. Many childhood experiences play a significant role in shaping our behavior patterns. During these formative years, we absorb information from our immediate environment, including our parent, caregivers, and surroundings. The way we're treated, the behavior we observe, and the emotional climate we grew up in all contribute to the development of behavioral responses. For instance, children who grew up in a nurturing and supportive environment are likely to develop positive self-esteem and healthy coping mechanisms. Conversely, those exposed to neglect, criticism, or inconsistency may develop patterns of insecurity, anxiety, or avoidance. Understanding the impact of these early influences helps us to see how our current behaviors are rooted in our past experiences. As we go on to the next, family dynamics and roles. Family dynamics and roles and the roles we assume within our families also significantly influence our behavior patterns. Each family member often adopts specific roles, such as the caretaker, the peacemaker, or the rebel, based on the family's needs and expectations. These roles can dictate how we interact with others and respond to various situations. For example, a child who takes the role of the caretaker might develop patterns of putting others' needs before their own, leading to potential issues with self-care, as well as boundaries in adulthood. By examining the role we play within our family of origin, we can gain insights into the patterns that continue to influence our behavior and relationships today. And lastly is cultural and societal values. Cultural and societal values also contribute to the formation of behavior patterns. The values, norms, expectations of the society we grew up in shape our beliefs and behavior. Cultural background can influence everything from communication style to attitudes towards authority and success. For instance, in cultures that have a high value on academic achievement, individuals might develop patterns of perfectionism or a fear of failure. Societal pressures such as gender roles and economic status further shape our behavior by dictating what is considered acceptable or desirable. Understanding these broader influences helps us to see how our behavior is not only a product of our individual experience, but also a reflection of the larger cultural and societal context in which we live. Thank you, and that's the reading for today. Welcome back, guys. Today's reading pulls back the curtain on an uncomfortable truth. Most of our patterns were installed before we had any say in the matter. Early childhood is where the blueprint is often drafted, or is drafted. The nervous system learned what was safe, what was dangerous, and what earned connection. Nurture creates confidence. Inconsistency bred vigilance. What once kept us emotionally or physically safe often became a default response, even when the original threat is long gone. Family dynamics deepen these patterns through roles: caretaking, peacemaking, achiever, rebel. These weren't personality choices, they were survival assignments. The problem isn't that these roles existed, it's that many of us are still living from them decades later, confusing duty with identity. When a child learns love equals responsibility or silence equals safety, those lessons don't politely expire in adulthood. They quietly dictate boundaries, relationships, and self-worth. Zooming out further, culture and society act like invisible amplifiers. Values around success, gender, productivity, and obedience shape what we believe is acceptable or shameful. Perfectionism, fear of failure or overachievement, emotional suppression, these aren't personality flaws. They're contextual adaptations. Recognizing this doesn't absolve responsibility, but it does remove unnecessary self-blame. You didn't invent this pattern. You inherited, absorbed, and adapted them. And what's learned can most surely be unlearned. As we go into the journal prompts for today, number 1, what behaviors in your adult life resemble strategies you learned as a child to stay safe, seen, or accepted? Number 2, what family role do you occupy most often? And how does it still influence your choices today? And number 3, which cultural or societal expectations have shaped your sense of worth, success, or failure? That's it for today. And as always, thanks for being here. Take care of yourself, and please do be well. Welcome back. Now, this is the third and final section of the daily podcast. This is your silent meditation. Please find a place where you can be comfortable and undisturbed, where you can relax and spend some time with yourself for this 10-minute silent meditation. You can choose to be sitting, standing, lying down, or in whatever position makes you comfortable today. Just take some time to listen to yourself. Next, be sure that you are taking some time to be with your breath to connect with your body. Don't be disturbed or overwhelmed by your thoughts. Simply allow them to pass. Just observe them. Do not engage with your thoughts. Only be mindful of them passing as if they are drifting down a river. Use this time to connect with yourself. Whatever time of day you are listening to this, Namaste.